This is Subic Bay, once the beating heart of America's military presence in Asia. Back in the Cold War, this was the largest U.S. naval base outside of the mainland.
There's no argument over the choice between peace and war.
Nuclear submarines docked here. Carrier strike groups refueled here. If war broke out with the Soviet Union or China, this was launch point zero. Then, in 1992, it all ended. The U.S. packed up, left, and Subic fell quiet. But not for long. Today, as tensions in the Indo-Pacific hit their boiling point, Subic Naval Base is back on the map. China is building islands, the US is building partnerships, and the Philippines? They're rebuilding Subic. And this time, it's not just about the past. It's about the next great conflict in Asia. So, what exactly is happening at Subic Bay? What do you think? Is Subic the shield the Philippines needs? Why are both the Philippines and the United States quietly pouring millions into this old naval base? And how does this once abandoned site stack up against the biggest military hubs in Southeast Asia? Subic Bay isn't just some old pier on the coast. It's one of the most strategically located deep-water ports in the entire Indo-Pacific. Tucked on the western edge of Luzon, it's just over 500 kilometers from Taiwan, directly facing the South China Sea. It's protected by natural mountains, shielded from typhoons, and has enough space to berth an entire carrier group. Let's take it back. In the early 1900s, Subic became a U.S. naval stronghold. By the 1980s, over 15,000 U.S. troops were stationed there, supporting operations across Vietnam, the Pacific, and even the Middle East. But after the Philippine Senate rejected the extension of U.S. bases in 1991, the Americans left. The base was handed over in 1992 and turned into a civilian free port. For a while, it was repurposed for shipping and industry, until recent years, because now it's becoming something else again. And what's breathing new life into this historic base? That starts with a reactivation by the Philippine Navy. In May 2022, the Philippine Navy officially reactivated the naval operating base Subic, reviving decades of maritime muscle in one move. The BRP Antonio Luna, a modern missile frigate of the Philippine Navy, was the first to dock at the former Hanjin shipyard, marking Subic's new role as home base for capital ships. And since then, investments haven't slowed. By 2023, Manila was leasing the northern half of the old shipyard under a P1.1 billion annual lease, securing 100 hectares of waterfront space for frigates, corvettes, and landing docks. Dockyard plans include constructing finger piers, a 155-meter berth, and two 200-meter wharves, designed to support the growing fleet. New crew housing and support facilities are rising on site to accommodate sailors and Marines rotating through, turning Subic into a true living base, not just a port. And it's no coincidence this aligns with enhanced defense cooperation with the USA's forward deployments. U.S. and Philippine forces launched their first patrols from Subic, utilizing the upgraded docks and logistics infrastructure to improve interoperability. These moves are more than just improvements and renovations. They're a power statement. A base that was once dismantled is coming back online, bigger, stronger, and capable. A new shipyard, finger piers, housing, and support facilities are just part of the improvement. There's more. The defense blueprint includes Grande and Chiquita Islands, strategic at Subic's entrance, overlooking sea lanes, and disputed Scarborough Shoal. Plans are underway to convert them into military reservations and surveillance outposts. Meanwhile, France's naval group is offering a submarine support complex at Subic, with multi-sub docks, training centers, and logistics hubs, signaling future undersea depth. Finally, the base is being designed for joint use under U.S. Pacific Command, enabling Allied ships and aircraft to pre-position, refuel, and redeploy across the Indo-Pacific, quietly building toward full interoperability. In February 2025, Subic Bay welcomed a new arrival, the U.S. Marine Corps. At the former Naval Supply Depot, a 5300 empty logistics warehouse, managed by Marine Corps Blount Island Command, was officially opened. It's stacked with vehicles, communications gear, and engineering equipment ready to respond in disasters or to reinforce defense missions. But don't mistake the calm waters for disarmament. There are no munitions here yet. Importantly, this isn't just about aid. It signals a quiet return of U.S. military readiness to Subic. The warehouse is part of a global prepositioning network, allowing U.S. forces to surge across the Indo-Pacific with speed. And ahead, even deeper investment. In June 2025, the U.S. House Appropriations Committee ordered a feasibility study on building a joint ammunition manufacturing and storage facility at Subic. This would be the first of its kind in Asia-Pacific, a game-changer for future readiness. But it doesn't stop there. Multiple sources also report the planned construction of a full-blown cold storage plant for refrigerated supplies, becoming a strategic node not just for fighters, but frontline logistics and humanitarian aid. Now, what does this mean for the Philippines? First, it deepens the military alliance. Subic becomes more than infrastructure. It's a joint operational hub. Second, for natural disasters, this prepositioning shortens response times from days to hours. That protects lives and stabilizes communities. Third, in a crisis, the Philippine Navy and Marines gain unmatched logistical support, from ammo to repair parts, food to field hospitals, pre-staged and ready. This footprint may be quiet, but it's systemic, and it's shifting Subic from a quiet backwater to a cornerstone of regional defense and resilience. Next, we'll compare Subic with other major Southeast Asia naval bases and uncover why it's quickly becoming the top strategic node. To understand Subic's emerging role, we need to see it in the landscape of Southeast Asia's naval hubs. Here's how it compares. Malaysia, Lumut and Sepangar. Lumut sits on 800 acres, is home to the entire Western Fleet and Special Forces. Sepangar in Sabah hosts Malaysia's submarines and acts as an eastern naval base with space for foreign carriers. Subic's edge, while commensurate in size, Subic's U.S. partnership gives it a strategic boost in logistics and interoperability unmatched in Malaysia. Thailand, Sattahip Naval Base, the headquarters of the Royal Thai Navy, hosts aircraft carrier and patrol fleet, lacks deep-sea submarine facilities. Subic is deeper, more sheltered, and being wired for subsurface and allied access, while Sattahip functions more as a coastal command. Vietnam, Cam Ranh Bay. Cam Ranh Bay hosts Russian presence, coastal defenses, and modernizing patrol fleet. Vietnam is strategically focused on SCS threats. Unlike Cam Ranh, Subic has both historical depth and an ongoing U.S.-Philippine development plan, making it unique in regional forward-posting potential. Subic Bay isn't just back, it's being reimagined. What was once the largest U.S. naval base in the Pacific is now rising as Southeast Asia's most strategically positioned military hub. Why? Because it's big, deep, connected, and hard to ignore. As China pushes farther into the South China Sea, as Taiwan's skies grow thick with fighters, as great power competition creeps closer to Philippine shores, Subic has quietly transformed from ghost town into the front porch of Allied power in the Indo-Pacific. But here's the real kicker. Subic could be the Philippines' greatest strategic asset, or its biggest target. What do you think? Is Subic the shield the Philippines needs, or is the country building a base that's painting a bullseye for China's ballistic missiles? Should the Philippines invest more in self-reliance, or double down on alliances? Let us know in the comments. This isn't just about history, it's about the future of the entire region. And don't forget, subscribe to stay alert for our next deep dive.